So I'm starting to finally wrap this up as far as getting the electrical wire run. I was just waiting on getting some materials shipped in before I could start this, so I'll let you know where I'm at. Originally, I think I said I was going to go with some Cat 6 line to run my limit switches because I was looking for some shielded wire, but in the end I've changed my mind. There's just too much going on here. It's too much to deal with, so I went ahead and got some microphone cord, and actually just ordered it and still had the connectors on the end, relatively cheap, but it's 2 wires shielded as well, and I want to say like the wiring is about 20 gauge, it looks like, maybe 18, but high quality stuff. It's wrapped in copper as well for the shielding, so that's what I'm going to be using. So just 2 wires for that, and that's how I'm going to get my limit switches wired up. Also, I went ahead and started trying to figure out some cable management aspects with all these, so I'm just playing around with this stuff for right now. But what I'm using, I found this product out there. It's going to make it real easy, and essentially what it is, it's an adhesive backed block that I'm attaching to the stepper motors, which allows me to run the zip ties behind it to hold everything nice and snug. So you can see I've already done that a little bit with these motors right here, and I might end up relocating that. For right now I'm just testing stuff. And the next thing that I did was I added a little shelf here for my E-track. I went ahead and bit the bullet and got that stuff rather than trying to make it, just because I didn't really think that the time involved was feasible, to be honest, versus what you can get it for now on eBay. It's relatively cheap. I got 3 of them. They're all about 40 inches long, and I think they cost about 33 bucks or something like that, shipped each. So not a bad deal at all. I'm going to show you how I'm going to try and mount this to this part right up here. So let me pause and get the stuff. Okay, so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up drilling and tapping into this aluminum, the rack and pinion plate, and extending a piece of aluminum bar out to attach to the E-chain. What I'm going to use for that is I went ahead and picked up some aluminum bar stock. This is 1/4 inch. I think I got an 8-foot piece of it at Home Depot. I don't know, 20 bucks, $25, something like that. Anyways, I'm going to just cut off whatever I need to off of that, and that's going to be my brackets. And the way I'm going to go ahead and get those attached, I don't know if I'd mentioned this before either or not. This is a set that I've had by Greenlee. It's a really nice quick set where it'll drill and tap in like literally 10-15 seconds. You'll get your tap in there. So if you guys have never seen that or heard about that before, it's definitely a nice tool to have. And what I did was I just took after I built my shelf, I took my E-chain and brought it up here, and I wanted to make sure you can see that pencil line I put on there, that I'm marking it off 90 degrees on that plate. And I'm going to go ahead and tap the holes into this, drill them wider in my bar stock so it pushes it down on a plate, and then on this side I'm going to come up through the E-chain with the tapped holes on the bar stock instead of, obviously not in the plastic, and I'm going to screw it in. So we're attaching it into that and coming up on the bottom of that. So that's the next step. We'll see how it all goes. So as you can see, I got it hooked up now. Bad thing was I had to pretty much disassemble the entire motor and pulley off of that so I could get it hooked into a vise and drill it through, but everything lined up, so it's worth the extra 10 minutes it's going to take to do that rather than trying to do a workaround. But again, I just got the screws bolted in from the bottom up and then from the top down on there, and that's on 1/4 inch bar stock, and I'll just give you a demo of it. Works quite well. So that's what I'm going to do for the top, obviously, and I'll go ahead and get that all put back together. But for the sides here, I'm going to run into a little bit of a different problem because I'm running perpendicular to the E-chain that's going to run across the bottom here. So I decided to use some angle brackets for that. So instead of trying to rig something, I went out to the hardware store and just got myself some 1.5 inch steel angle brackets, and essentially that's going to install. I'm going to go ahead and tap it into there as well, and then I would have liked to use larger ones, but the clearance from this plate to the side of the machine isn't enough. I'm just under 2 inches, so this is going to work just fine. The only difference in this is up here I'm using 1/4 inch diameter 3/4 inch long socket head cap screws, and on this I'm going to be able to use the 1/4 inch on the part that bolts into this, but since I have these pre-drilled holes on here, they're about 1/4 inch in diameter. I actually am going to have to step it up to 3/8 diameter on the bottom, I'm sorry, 5/16, and that is going to end up screwing into the cable chain. So the other problem is this cable chain, I was able to use the stock mounting hole locations underneath. On this, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to try and get it into at least one, and then have to drill into the cable chain holder. So not a big deal. You got to do what you got to do. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and call a wrap on this and take care of a bunch more stuff and get that into the next episode. Thanks.